recording will be on the website later. I'm Mark Schell. I'm a co-chair of fundraising. I'm here with Larry Stovicek and Tim Sanders tonight to talk to you about fundraising. So very much like you had the opportunity to learn much more about the ride here a couple weeks ago with the presentation done by Dave Basehart, Clark, and Tim, we're going to go through essentially Fundraising 101 and bring you up to speed on the real meaning of the ride, which is the cause. So I'm sure a lot of you signed up about the ride because of the challenges of making a 300-mile trek from Pittsburgh, but the real effort is all about the cause, and so we're going to talk about that. We're going to hopefully accelerate your fundraising efforts with giving you some information tonight and open up the forum to ask questions so we can answer any of those types of things tonight.
Let me stop real quick. If anyone on the line has a question or can't hear or can't see the screen at any point, you have the ability, I believe, to raise your hand or ask a question, message us through the system. Go ahead and do that, and it's informal. We can take questions along the way. And we'll have a Q&A at the end.
Okay, we're going to page through a little slides here. Our goal this year is $300,000. You'll be able to track that on the front of the website. We're starting to make progress. We're accelerating our efforts as people start their fundraising efforts. But we want to talk about minimums. And, you know, we did want to set at least a minimum. We're trying to recruit younger riders. We're trying to keep the minimum such that we don't sway anybody from signing up for the ride. And the numbers are extremely low. So you can see that on the screen here. Under 25, $200, over 25 first-time rider, $500, alumni riders over $1,000. So just to run the numbers, if we've got about 100 riders, and that's about where we are, 100 riders, 1,000, you know, we're going to come up with 100 grand, well short of our $300,000 target. So we need to stretch. Every one of us needs to put a stretch goal out there and get started early. So we're going to help you understand better how to go ahead and do that.
I'd like to just interject right here that those two good-looking guys on the screen right now are Larry Stovicek and Mark Schell.
And that beautiful lady is Cindy McGrew, who, if you haven't met her, you'll have an opportunity to see her on the ride, you know, and throughout the entire effort in October when we get out of Pittsburgh.
All right, so who do you talk to? I mean, every one of us has an address book in our phone or on our computer. I mean, that's where I started the first time I decided I was going to try to get involved here. The important thing is to just get started. But if you look at these lists, I mean, there's numerous people. You'd be surprised how many people you can invite to help out with the ride. And it is really a great icebreaker. You know, we all end up talking to people about, you know, how we feel, what kind of exercise we're getting. You start talking about a 300-mile ride, and people listen. And it's very easy to segue into talking about why you're riding. So don't be hesitant to reach out to friends and family. And then look at, you know, neighbors, walk up and down the street one day. Believe me, people are more than willing to help.
You just have to start talking. One of the items that when you first register, you were given a fundraising basics, which helps. That's got some more information on building your list and some tools, some ideas, some thoughts that we've put together over the last few years, Larry and I, to help you get started. But the key, as Larry pointed out, is just getting started. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody. It's not about you. It's all about the cause, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go through this.
In regards to those fundraising basics they received with their welcome email when they registered, if anyone needs an additional copy of that package, just let us know. We'll have contact information at the end. We can resend those, but they're great templates to get started with.
The other things that was included in that fundraising basics is we gave you kind of a sample letter that gives you a starting place if you've got writer's cramp and can't get started. You can use that letter exactly the way it is. You can edit that. You can use it however you want. You can cut it down and use that to paste in your web page, which we'll talk a little bit more about later.
You'll see on the left-hand side of the screen the primaries. Everyone knows who your go-to, your easy, low-hanging fruit supporters are. But one thing that not everyone takes advantage of are the secondary supporters that you can go after. Most people have a Facebook or a Twitter or a LinkedIn or some sort of social media connection, or at least their spouses do, or kids or parents do. You can post the cause and a link to your donation site directly there, and you'll be surprised. We've got Rob Maytin, who is also on the fundraising committee, who his first year, he just started posting these all over Facebook, and he'd get $20, $25, $30, $50 donations from old high school buddies he probably hadn't spoken to in 30 years. Right, Rob? You're that old, aren't you?
I thought it was 40.
40 years?
Pretty
Yeah.
close. Yeah, feels like that.
But you'd be surprised. It's not a cause that you need to be bashful about. It's a cause that everyone supports, so it makes it that much easier to ask.
So keep in mind, you're not asking people for money for you. You're asking for money for Operation Second Chance and all the great things that they do for severely wounded soldiers coming back from overseas. So keep in mind, you're just facilitating, you're just the messenger. It's not about you. Get yourself out of the middle of this thing so you can go and approach anybody on the donations. So we are supporting young men and women coming back that have a myriad of challenges. Those can be physical, those can be mental, they can be PTSD, they can be a whole variety of maladies that result from their experiences and their problems over there. I'd like to pause and tell a short story because I'm pretty big on stories. I stumbled into the ride in 2007. In 2007, a roommate of my oldest son being a bomb tech for the Navy, his patrol had been ambushed in Iraq. And as a result, he came back, without 2 legs. And the 26 surgeries that Andrew went through and the time that his family spent away from their home supporting him locally was absolutely incredible. And you have to understand, and you may not if you weren't in the military, that the VA supports certain things. They take care of the direct costs associated with the rehabilitation, the surgeries, and all those kind of things. But what about the flights of parents or loved ones to help and support their soldiers that are coming back that are going through this effort? What about leaving their jobs and giving up that income for the period of time that it takes for somebody to go through the surgeries and the rehabilitation? All the things where the VA leaves off, that's what Operation Second Chance helps pick up. And we sent out a email, I think, to the Google groups with one of the a list of items that Cindy had generated for us, so you can answer the question when somebody asks you, where does the money go to? The other thing you can be very proud of, and this is Operation Second Chance is very unique in this way, in that 91 cents of every dollar goes to veterans. That's not something you can say for many of the 501c3s that are out there that are soliciting donations. Donations are tax deductible. We're going to go to, in a couple of minutes, we're going to go to Operation Second Chance website and give you a little tour, so maybe you can learn a little bit more about some of these heroes that have come back, and Cindy's team has helped so much during their rehabilitation, and they're earning their second chance.
All right, so we'll pop over with that. We're going to take a quick little detour here. And you'll see the final bullet there says impact stories. Shortly this week or beginning of next, we're going to send out an email that we recently received from Cindy. And she sends these out once a quarter or so, just updating us on recent, basically, impacts of our fundraising and our efforts for Operation Second Chance. And these are stories and thank you notes and testimonials from the soldiers, the military, and the veterans that receive the funds that we help fundraise. So I'm going to pull away here and go to Operation Second Chance's screen. Can you guys see that all right? Yep, good. All right, so speaking of impact, here's Cindy. We recommend you spend a little bit of time on this website and really get to know what Operation Second Chance is, what they do, and who they benefit. And you come on over here to the Heroes section, and this is a great way to, or a great location to direct some of your supporters who aren't quite sure what it is that you're doing. Send them to this page and have them read through here a little bit. And here are some fantastic impact stories. These are the faces of the beneficiaries of our efforts and Operation Second Chance's efforts in supporting these soldiers. So for instance, we'll pop right in here. You can read all about Sergeant De Los Santos. And it gives you, it personalizes the effort. It puts a face, a name to the face, and a face to the dollars that you're raising. And you might think that the $500 that your minimum that you're raising, or let's say you're able to raise a couple grand, you might think that's kind of chump change. What type of impact can that have? But $2,000 bucks, that's gonna pay for 4 or 5 or 6 round trip tickets for his spouse to come out and sit next to his bedside at Walter Reed so she can be a part of the recovery process. It's not as trivial as you might think, and a few dollars goes a long way. So with that, we encourage you to spend some time here on the website. We're going to hop back into the show.
Critical message here is don't be shy. Do not hesitate to start asking people. That's the most important thing. You've got to get started. So fundraising tips, make your list. I mean, just sit down one evening. I mean, the first time I went out, I just wrote an email that I put in a few important comments that I thought were important. I really just talked about the ride more than anything else and how I needed some help doing the fundraising. And I just sent that email out to easily 60 people on my address book. It works. It really does work. People are not afraid to support this. Branch your network. I've got a brother that raises funds for me. Talk to your family. I mean, they've all got contacts. Many of the people that you'll talk to have relatives in the military. Believe me, it's really easy for them to help you in raising the funds.
Yeah, especially when you talk about social media. It's as simple as them sharing your link or posting it to their site, and you can exponentially increase the footprint of the potential supporters that you might be able to hit. Just real quick aside, I know Rob can interject fantastically here, and maybe he should, but last year I had my mom and my sister and some other siblings share the link, and one day, as soon as they shared the link, but one day I started getting these confirmation emails. I was getting all these donations in my name. I'd never even heard of these people, and I thought they were heirs. I started looking into it, and I realized they were old family friends or colleagues or high school buddies of family of mine that I never knew, but they saw the cause, and what's 25 to 50 bucks to a lot of these people, especially when it goes to something that's important. So you'd be surprised. Your footprint doesn't have to only hit your Rolodex. It can go out exponentially beyond that. Rob, do you have any input on the social media side?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest comment on social media is put it out there. I'm trying to, on the Ride Allegheny Facebook page or on our email list, post some kind of hints and tricks on a weekly basis. I think we're all aware of the ALS fundraiser, the dumping the ice water on your head. That's just viral over the internet. I mean, it's hitting everything. There was something on the news today that Congress can't do it because they're not allowed to fundraise. I mean, it's crazy how big it's gotten. So that's something that's started small. So the great thing about social media is a little thing can really branch out quickly. Like Tim said, if you share it with your Facebook group or you get your family member to share your link, you never know how big that can get. Going back to the ALS challenge, someone posted something about it, so I said, you know what? Here's something for you. If you donate to Ride Allegheny, to my cause, for everyone that donates, I'll dump a bucket of ice water on my head. Within 15 minutes, I had a former colleague of mine who I'm just Facebook friends with. I don't speak to her often or at all in the last couple of years. And she's like, I want to see you dump a bucket of water on your head. Here's $50 to your cause. It was that quick, 15 minutes. And then after I finally did the challenge this afternoon, and that water was cold, and I posted a video of it back on the same page, and she thanked me, and then she shared my link with her entire Facebook page, her entire Facebook friend list. So it's that easy. I'm not saying you have to dump a bucket of water, but if you have fun with it, if you challenge your friends, who's willing to do it, it's amazing how quickly these $50 here, $100 here come in. Last year, I was afraid of raising the $500 minimum that I had, and when I started using social media, all of a sudden, one day it just blossomed, and I ended up with, I think 86 people donating to the cause through me last year, and most of that was social media. So I'll turn that back over to you, Tim.
Yeah, thanks. We'll talk a little bit more about how to actually plug into the social media here in a moment when we click away and go through the website.
But getting started is a self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, you just heard Rob talk about it. Once you get started, and you start to see those donations come in, it's pretty motivating. It definitely motivates you to keep asking. So the important thing is to get started. Get started now.
That's right. Okay, so we'll talk more about that, but right now we want to pull away and show you some of the technological resources that we offer with our website, and then also your personal web page that you were given when you first signed up. A lot of people have questions about how to access the page and how to really maximize it. So we're going to go through some of the basics, and if you have more specific questions, we can do one-on-one intervention at a later date. Just let us know. We're here to help. This is all, we donate our time and we all put in effort here for the greater good and for the cause, and so we're absolutely willing to spend as much time as we need to on an individual basis to make this work. So some important links and some important aspects of the webpage to get familiar with. I visit this thing, especially as we start getting cranking along here, multiple times throughout the day. And some of the areas that I go to and I frequent are the dashboard, so you can see where we are on any given moment. This is real time, so we're just about at $80,000, and we really haven't even started to crank up our fundraising efforts. So we're about 25–30% of our way to the goal. It's going to take, with 100 people, it's going to take quite a bit of an effort, but I'm confident we can get there. So the pages I want you to pay attention to are the donation link here on the left. You're going to need to get familiar with that. And then the My Fundraising page here on the left as well, and that's what we're going to click into. That really is going to be your honey hole when it comes to requesting donations. So you click on that link, and this will bring you to a login page. You likely don't remember your login because we've all got way too many of them. So if you need help resetting your login or you can't remember, just shoot me an email and I can help you with that. We're going to log into my site right now. And I'll show you some of the tools of your personal web page. And everyone has a dedicated personal web page. You also have the ability to log in through some of your other social media or accounts that you hold. I don't do that. I just type in my name, but you can if you need to. Oh, there you go. Hold on. There we go. I did it. All right. So here's the back end of my personal page. From here, you can customize it, and that's one thing. Once you figure out how to log in, we want you to start to personalize the page so that the supporters you direct to this page, when they hit it, they know, one, that they're at the right spot. They know it's you. And you also make a connection with them right away. So here, I did the ride last year with my brother. Those are my two little girls. Family and friends and people that know me, they'll come to this page. They see that. One, they know that they hit the right spot. They see those two little cuties. They get all warm and fuzzy, and then they toss a bunch of cash into the coffers for OSC. But go ahead and customize the text. It's going to be on your page. Rob, do you have a question?
I was going to say the two little cuties he was referring to is his kids, not him and his brother.
That's right. That's right.
I was thinking the same thing.
One of the great things, too, especially with this ALS challenge, we're going to show you here in a minute. If you haven't seen it on our homepage, the Ride Allegheny homepage, Clark is attempting a movement of a Ride Allegheny challenge. So we'll see if that takes hold. But you can post an image to your personal webpage or even a video. So if you had a video of yourself doing the plunge or something else, you can put it up there. But we encourage you doing something that personalizes it. Once you've got it personalized, fantastic. Now you're off to the races. It's time to start soliciting donations. And the way that you can do that, well, first let me show you some of the tools up here. You go to your HQ, and that'll basically it'll give you a report. It's like a dashboard for your personal statistics. You see this little pop-up that came up. If you're someone who has a handheld, which most people do, you can also download this app, Fundraise with Friends. And your same login information that you use to get into this personal webpage, you use that login info, and all of your donations are real-time on your mobile device. So we encourage, if you do use applications on an iPhone or other, go and download this Fundraise with Friends. Click out of that, and here you can see this is my dashboard. Now my letters are going out in the mail tomorrow. So you see my goal for this year is 4,000. I'm hoping to crush that. However, I've only raised 412 so far. I haven't started the effort, really. It's going to get there. But once I do, this is a page that I'll start to visit regularly, and you'll be able to see all of your donations come through. You can see the names of the people that donated. We encourage you to send your thank you notes to them right away so that people feel included in the process. You give them updates throughout, tell them how your training's going, and then, of course, at the end of the ride, you want to follow up with all of your donors and thank them.
So, Tim, where do you see the list of donors that have already?
Perfect. So there's a tool up here. These tabs at the top are really going to help you with everything. Go to the Reports tab, and from here, you can do downloads. Now, I've done the ride for a few years, so I can download previous years' Excel spreadsheets of the donors. This shows me right now the individuals who have donated to me. I've got one I did myself. I've got a couple of aunts that did it. And one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, one of the aunts donated $100, and she works for Freddie Mac. And Freddie Mac is a matching contributor employer. A lot of employers will match contributions dollar for dollar, and it's a great way to essentially double your take. So there's an extra free $100 that I got just because she works for Freddie Mac. And we help process those matching contributions, so there's not a lot of extra effort required on anybody's part. But right here at the top, that's your Reports tab. You can utilize this email tab up here as well and send emails directly to your support base from this system. And what's nice about that is that it guarantees that the donation that's going to come back goes direct to your personal web page and it's credited to your name. In the event that something comes in and it's not credited to you, we can easily remedy that. Don't fear. It happens all the time. In fact, Steve Mummy, who's on the line, I had to convert one of his the other day, a donation, I believe, from a Janet who was through the general website. Yeah, that was an easy one because the last name was Mummy. But what you'll see is as we get further along, you'll see names, donors that are in the general donation bucket. You'll receive those lists. If any of the names seem like there's somebody that you've solicited, just shoot me an email and I can convert it to your totals. It's an easy solve. But from here, you can link to your address books. You can link to your Gmail, your Yahoo Mail, whoever you've got, and it'll pull up your contact list there. You can type them in individually. Now, let's say that you didn't, you guys able to hear us? We're good?
You were breaking.
All right, let's say that you didn't.
There.
Say that again, Rob.
So you were cutting in and out a little bit to me.
Okay, yeah, we had a call coming through the other line.
Right.
Mark Shell's a popular guy.
There you go.
There's other tools that you can cruise through here as well. But you see up here, you can import your address book. It'll give you a history of how many emails you send out. Many people use this tool. Some people just prefer to take their email list from their personal email, AOL or Gmail, and do the email direct through there. If you're going to do that, we recommend that you copy and paste your web page link and put that into the email, the body of the email, so that they can click that link and it'll go straight to your name. So the next thing I'm going to show you, there's a lot of tools within this personal web page. We encourage you to get familiar with it. And if you do have questions as you're going through, it's mostly intuitive. If you have questions, please reach out to us and we'll help you. We won't spend too much more time on it. But another avenue, and a common avenue for your donors to go through, when you direct them to the Ride Allegheny website, obviously they want to find out what is this thing that you're doing, what is it all about, let me learn about it, and we encourage you to send them to the homepage. There are a ton of stories, videos, and obviously ridiculous banter that we tend to post on here as well, so they can kind of get a feel of who we are and what we're all about. But once they get here, this donation link on the left is where you want them to focus on. And if they're going to donate through the homepage, you want to ensure that they press the Donate for a Specific Rider link, and from there they can type in your name, and I'll use Rob as an example. They don't need to do the whole name. So typed in, put in Maytin there. Here's Rob Maytin. And what that does brings me right to his personal webpage. And there's pretty little Rob riding down near our nation's capital. That was on our Arlington ride earlier this year. And you see they can leave great notes for you. It shows you've got an honor roll scroll. It shows who's donated, how much, if they elect to show that. And it shows how this is his page, and it shows how close he is to his goal. So that's another avenue to get there. Let's see, Rob, from this page, do you have any advice, for instance, with linking it to your Facebook?
So there's a tool. If you flick back, Tim, and unfortunately where I am, I can't load the Ride Allegheny page for some reason. But there is I think it's in the tools section. If you go back to your personal page.
Yeah, I'll go to it right now. Okay, and it's in tools, I believe?
I believe so.
Profile.
Nope. Tools. Good. My web page. Somewhere here, folks, and I apologize, I can't pull this up myself, so I'm going to make Tim go through this. Community. Try community. Somewhere in here there is a, nope, I swear on one of these tabs there is a link. You will see a link for posting immediately posting your link to either Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter.
Okay.
I think it's right here. Scroll down.
There you go. Social fundraising.
Yeah. So if you are a Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn user, you can click right on that link there, and it'll give you the ability to type something that's going to post to either of these sites, whether a LinkedIn, posting to everyone, or a Twitter, a tweet, or a Facebook message on your page, and it'll automatically put your Ride Allegheny link in the message and post it for you on your behalf. Obviously, you need to be logged into these sites, I think, in order for it to work. So there is, a little of that you'll need to make sure it's happening. It should prompt you to log in if you're not already logged in. But you, again, use it. I know a lot of people are concerned about using LinkedIn because it is a business tool, but I have to say, I tried it last year just to see what would happen, and I got a $25 donation from someone I met at a conference, so I hadn't spoken to in 3 years. So it's random people really feel strongly about the cause. So make sure when you post these things to your social media site, make sure you talk about the cause, what we're raising money for, because I think that really hits home to, like Mark was saying and Larry was saying, really hits home to a lot of people that we're doing this for, these men and women who are wounded, protecting our country. So put in some words like that. Use some of the verbiage from the welcome kit letters that should have come to you when you registered. If you need help with that, and it definitely pull at the heartstrings of your social and your personal contact.
Speaking of heartstrings, I encourage you guys. We won't play it here because of bandwidth, but on the front page, visit this daily so you can see the news and the links that we post. We're pretty active about keeping these updated. But there was recently a post of Clark's Ride Allegheny Bike Plunge Challenge, and he's posted to YouTube, and I encourage you guys to check it out and watch it. It's pretty funny. And it's something that's probably going to take hold here pretty quick. A couple of the things I want to bring your attention to. You'll see we've got a big party coming up in a couple of weeks that we want everyone to join us at. It's our $1 million celebration. It's going to be a blast. It's the Wine Harvest in Kentlands. We've got some live entertainment, some big names coming, and of course all of us riders. Other place I want you to visit regularly and strive to appear on is this fundraiser leader page. This shows the top 25 fundraising leaders, and you'll see that number 1 and 2 are big dogs who are here in the room with us. They know what they're talking about. So if you have questions, please direct it right to them. But your goal should be to try and be on this list, the top 25. And I know that you can do it. It's not that difficult. There's Mummy. He's on there as well. And it just takes reaching out and getting started. But that's always my goal, is to get out here. Yeah, you got Rob Maytin is up there, cruising along at number 10. And it's fun to watch this, and it becomes competitive. One of the great things about this is that you're going to see, okay, maybe I'm not going to beat Mark Schell. I'm not going to raise $40,000. That's fine. Not many of us are. But there's a few people in my neck of the woods that I can compete with, and it becomes real fun towards the down the finish line and as you're about to hit the ride. So visit this regularly. I know it's something I visit.
This keeps you motivated. That's what helps me. I mean, I keep looking at Mark and saying, my God, I can't let him get that far out in front.
Right.
It's hard to make up that ground.
That's right. All right, so we're nearing the end here. Let's see, the last thing I wanted to show you. Oh, one other avenue. If every week you saw the first email this Monday, in addition to the top 25 list, you're going to get that leaderboard update from me every single week, every Monday, and it shows not just the 25, but every rider that's there. A metric that most people don't place enough importance on is the number of donations. You can get one donation for $2,500. That's fantastic, but that doesn't mean your work is done here. We encourage everyone to strive for that 15 to 20 mark. If we hit last year, the average per rider was 20 donations. It was 19.9, and that got us over the $300,000 mark. If we can get to 20 donations per rider this year, I'm confident we're going to hit our goal. We're going to surpass it. But really focus on, and it doesn't matter what the dollar size is. It's great to get those large checks. Just focus on getting donations, and what that means is that you're out talking to people, you're spreading the word, and people are interested, and you're actively engaged. So that's something you'll see on every Monday leaderboard, the leaderboard update. Check that number of donations list as well. That's a metric to live by.
Get your 20 donations at $150 each, you're there.
That's right.
Just set those goals.
So with that, we want to open it up to some Q&A and probably a little bit of a rapping back and forth if we've got any questions. Does anyone on the line have any questions? I can unmute you now. All right, you're all unmuted.
Then I think the important thing is getting started. I mean, that took me a long time my first year. I don't think I started till Labor Day, but once I got started, it was amazing how rapidly the donations came in. And I started with an email blast, and then I started trying to call those people and follow up.
Yeah, that's a good question. So how many times, I know for me, I've got a list of my A's and B's, and I send a mass blast to everybody at the beginning. And then I wait a week or so, 2 weeks, and then I send another blast to a filtered down group. How many times do you follow up? What's too little, what's too many?
Depending on the response I get the first time I talk to the person. If they're very interested and that's what they say, then I realize that if they haven't donated, it's probably because they just have forgotten or they just haven't gotten to it. I don't pester people, but I don't have to. I mean, when you talk about, you're enthusiastic about this because we are supporting a cause that has real meaning to people. I mean, these men and women have sacrificed for all of our benefit. And it really is very easy once you get started talking to people to get the support. So I'll follow up depending on the reaction I get.
Okay.
The other thing is they see your commitment to a cause. You may or may not have ever ridden more than 100 miles or 50 miles or whatever it might be. But when they hear that you're doing a 4-day, 320-odd mile ride, that's quite a commitment. So that commitment transfers into how much you believe in the cause and how much they see your dedication in committing to something like this, and people will open their pocketbook and they will help you out. But you got to talk to them. The more the better.
I see a question here from Jay. He was asking about the sample letters. They should have been in the initial registration confirmation email that you received. It's just a link. However, we will send those out. We'll probably do a mass blast to the group here. If not tonight, we'll do it first thing tomorrow, so you have all the documents again.
And Jay, periodically during the weeks coming, I'll be sending out copies of the letters that I've used with people. I try to keep them short, and but I'll vary them depending on the information that I've picked up during the week. I may go to the website for OSC and see something I think I can use in a letter. I'll create a new letter, and it's a follow-up with people that I've already sent to, or it's a new group that I've decided to approach. I mean, the big thing I've picked up tonight is I'm going to reach out to my family. I did it by word of mouth, but I'm going to connect all of them, by email and make it easy for them to pass it on to their friends. I mean, I haven't done that before. So watch out, Shell.
I can tell you guys, watch these two.
There we go.
It's going to be exciting as we come towards the end here. They have lofty goals, and I don't doubt that they'll hit them. So please, we'll wrap it up here. If you guys have any personal questions or just want to hit us offline, there's contact information for the fundraising committee there on the left. And feel free to reach out to anybody on the committee or the Ride Allegheny Google group. We're all a family here, and we're all doing this thing for a similar purpose. So.
And if you're new to this and you'd like to do a three-way phone call with somebody, all you have to do is reach out, and we'll make a time that we can do a three-way phone call, talk to your prospective donor, and answer the questions that they have.
That's right. All right, great.
So the important thing is just getting started. Just get started.
We're 6 weeks away.
That's right. 6 weeks away. Get started.
The countdown has begun.
Okay. Take care, guys. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us.